So my name's Chris Clarke. I am Cinema Technical Manager here. I'm going to talk a bit about the venue now, show you some photos from Film on Film, and then show a short video. Right, so this is NFT3 being refurbished. I thought it would be an interesting place to start talking about all of the different kind of technology that we do look after. So the projectors, the film is kind of the star of the show, what we'll mainly talk about today and show you. But I just wanted to show you some of the other stuff kind of behind the scenes. So behind our cinema screen here, we have this array of speakers. There's 5 channels in here for 70mm. But generally, you're just hearing left, right, and center with most modern DCPs. Screens pulled up. We're replacing the high-frequency horns here, so the old ones are on the stage. Mark's doing a bit of hoovering. And something you may or may not know is that generally this is what all cinema, so this is NFT1 when we did the same work in there, putting a new speaker system in, is that you'll generally have this quite large array of speakers behind the screen and then a screen on top with really tiny holes in to let the sound through, which is something you either know or don't believe me, but it does have tiny holes in it, and in a good design cinema, you're not going to see them. As well as speakers, sound systems, amplifiers. It's just a list of the other stuff that we look after in the cinema technical team. So we've got all of our projectors, we've got digital cinema players. They play things called DCPs. So DCP, a digital cinema package, is how we're playing most 2K and 4K digital films here. And they have a specific kind of player made by different manufacturers, Dolby being one of the main ones. But sometimes we play things where they're not already packaged. So one thing that we can do here as a venue is if we get a film which isn't kind of fully digitally ready to be able to be shown and distributed, we have our own kind of DCP creation system. So we can take these, say, TV files and make them into something we can easily play on our digital cinema systems. And then we could also play them on our Apple Macs. We've got a lot of video switches, we've got conferencing, live captioning. We also look after all the stage stuff. So, I bought this microphone. I decided what microphone it was going to be. We put LED lighting in here a couple of years ago. One thing that I think is another unique thing about this team is we generally don't work with integrators. So most cinemas or museums will have a kind of service contract and agreement with a third-party AV company who will come in, do the installations, do the servicing, and that's what kind of suits them. Being a quite unique kind of more kind of bespoke venue, certainly in the time I've been here, we've tended to go straight to manufacturers. We've been the ones to kind of specify and install the equipment and maintain it, which I think gives us quite a sort of, advantage in having that knowledge to be the people on site who did specify and know how the equipment works. We're not relying on external companies to come in when they can. And particularly with film, having done that, our cinema engineer who's worked here for a long time, having him now as an employee means that when all the film kind of servicing companies went out of business, it meant that we were kind of well positioned to kind of look after the stuff ourselves. Now we've done that, I was going to show you some photos I took during Film on Film, and see a few faces and see what the place looks like now. Having seen Dom's photos, mainly black and white, so you can see some more black and white photos, but these were taken last year. So yeah, last June, when we did Film on Film, I thought I'd get my 35mm camera out. I'd not used it for a long time. I went to art school, did a lot of photography when I was younger. Thought it'd be quite fun. I'll buy a fast film. So I kind of, as I went around, making sure everything was going was okay, I took some photos. So we're starting on the opening night Film on Film, lacing up film, got a photographer coming to photograph that as well. And then this is NFT1 kind of now. And then this is the view from NFT1 through the porthole. It's quite a sort of, a unique view you have of a projectionist, is this sort of quite limited angle view of the stage. You can kind of peer around and see a bit of the audience and see what's going on. And then we had our opening night film, which is Star Wars. So this was something that's quite fun to take a photo of from the projection booth. You kind of know what that film is. And that evening, John and Simon were running that. The process of running a film, you're generally kind of lacing up one reel. That's going to be 18 minutes or so. Reel 1, end of that reel, you'll have a changeover. Then you'll go back into this rewind room, and John is probably I think he's probably filling out a condition report, actually. So whenever we run a film, we record the condition. Simon's probably getting ready with reel 2 or reel 3. So you'll have this process of kind of getting the next reel, rewinding the previous reel, going back and forwards to the projector, and keeping an eye on it and making sure it's kind of going okay. This is now the NFT2 rewind room, and we've got Steve, who Don was talking about, and Hugh talking about the festival, Sam rewinding in 3, Roger, who helped out in the blue room, and Hugh and Lauren again checking a film. I think at this point they were slightly posing for me, but they generally were discussing what was the correct aspect ratio of this film and trying to determine that, which is something, might require some debate amongst the team. Liz and Roger again, and we've got Al, Nick, and Sam. Rehearsing things is something we do a lot. We do a lot of, for Film on Film, we kind of ran a lot of the films privately. For big premieres, we often will do a full rehearsal. So a lot of the time during the day, the cinemas are open, but sort of films are playing, whether we're just spot checking something we're playing regularly, or whether we're doing a kind of full run through. And this is us rehearsing for the gramophone playback for Un Chien Andalou, which we did with a gramophone, recreating kind of the original way it was done. We also had to do a little temporary setup in the blue room for Film on Film. 16mm projectors, that was quite a kind of unique thing to do. I guess replicating what we have in a projection box, you've got to get projectors kind of high up. We have this rake, so we built this thing up on the bar. And the next thing we did was the foyer display. So we set up some film projectors in the foyer so we could sort of demonstrate a kind of platter system. And this is Ed kind of, I think he used it as an excuse to try and get as many of the projectors we had in storage going. This is probably the Kaylee one that's outside NFT2, I think now, which does work again after being in storage. That's the whole lot. And there it is out on display. And yeah, this is just the guys chatting and getting it set up and getting it ready. And this is the crowds for the beginning of the Star Wars screening. I think it's with the standby queue. Photo from the office. Everything doesn't happen in the projection box. There's a certain amount of planning. Dom, my colleague Oriane here as well. So next, we are going to see a short film. 6 or 7 minutes. It's all just stuff that I had filmed on my phone over time, sort of behind the scenes stuff that I've edited together. So we'll do that. I'll come back briefly, and then we'll have the live demo of lacing up a film.
What are you doing here? I wish it wouldn't change now. All these yuppie types from London coming in, calling it Bedmo and all that. Bed Nemo and all that, trying to be all like, oh, what mate, innit? It's got down to bad manner. Trying to be all like, mate, it ain't like Stoke Newington.
please join me in a huge applause for supervising sound editor Johnny Byrne, cast media composer Jocelyn Frederick, makeup and prosthetics designer Margaret Stacey, costume designer Holly Wellington, production designer Shana Hayes, production designer James Price, director of photography Robbie Ryan, screenwriter Tony McNamara, co-producer Kasia Malakan, producer Ed Narni, and last but certainly not least, director Yorgos Lanthimos.
Bum notes. I saw the autumn leaves. Sorry. Gap. I saw the autumn leaves peel up off the street. Take wind on a balmy breeze and sweep you off your feet. You blushed as they shook you up on sugar maple wings. Gaze down on the city below, a place with wondrous things. Downy feathers kiss your face and flutter everywhere. Reality.
What wide angle? Wide angle.